Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, hi, welcome everyone. Hope I'm clear. Thanks for joining us early. Most of you here. Hope you are enjoying your weekend. Okay, guys, if your other colleagues are coming in as well, please do drop them a reminder. We will start sharp 1 minute after 3 p.m. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Already. Aren't you sharing research? Uh, Hello, welcome everyone. Okay, hi, I'm Kai. I'm from Profia. I'll be your host and your trainer today. Okay, so host and training at the same time. Have to run you through the same house rules as well. Just to inform everyone, of course, this is a solidarity training program brought to you by CBD, Esprit, and Profia. And of course, we have our friends from all the other agencies as well. I can see our big boss Firdaus is here as well. Hi Firdaus. Yep. Okay, yeah, I can see some friends from Tech, some friends from Roof, some friends from Firdaus and Associates, of course. Okay, so just before we start our training, let me just run you through some house rules. Okay, beware of some Zoom bombing. Try your best not to post up any advertisements, whether it's property related or non-property related. Let's try to keep this chat room more focused towards the topic. Okay, your mic and webcam, keep it on, no problem at all. Your mic, preferably try to have it on mute. Otherwise, it will disrupt other people trying to listen in lah. Okay, and then last but not least, of course, if you have any questions, try to keep your questions constructive. Try to keep your questions towards the topic. And yep, I will try my best to answer you lah. Okay, so we will run through today's topic. Today, I will actually share with you a topic of leadership. Actually, this Harvard Business Review of 7 Transformation of Leadership is not done by me lah. So let's not get this topic wrongly. It's actually done by Mr. David Rook and William R. Torbert. It's 25 years worth of research. So I will run you through it, okay? So this research is not done by myself. I'm just presenting it to you all for you all to get a clear understanding of how what type of leaders are there in an organization and how they normally evolve, okay? So I'll start off and share my screen first. Okay. Okay, is my screen clear? If my screen is clear, can I please get a number 2 in the chat room? Okay, I got a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So how many of you are team leaders here? Can I get number 3? How are you? How many of you are team leaders, or how many of you are running your own business, which makes you a leader as well, or running your own household makes you a leader of the household as well? Or in any matter, not even a team leader. You could be mentoring a young person. You could be teaching a young person something as well, or maybe not young. You could be teaching an old person or a more senior person something as well. So any leaders over here, please key in the number 3. We are all leaders. Yes, correct. I agree with Audrey. So in fact, we are all leaders lah. Okay. And the most important aspect, which I will touch in later, is actually self-leadership. So I guess some negotiators probably never join this training because they might have think it's a training for leaders. Okay, but in fact, leadership starts from yourself lah. Okay, so based on this research, right, most developmental psychologists, they agree that what differentiates leader is not so much their philosophy of leadership, okay, their personality or their style of management. Rather, it's their action logic, okay? Their action logic and how they interpret their surroundings and react when their power or safety is challenged, okay? Relatively few leaders try to understand their action logic, okay? Especially the new ones, okay? They tend not to look back at their action logics, and few leaders explore the possibility of change. Okay, especially in real estate practice lah. I realize most leaders, once they take 1 or 2 people on, and that 1 or 2 people, they either leave to another agency or yes, Desmond Hall just started. Don't worry, you didn't miss out on anything. Okay, so most negotiators, the one that move into team leadership, as I mentioned, they tend not to look too much into their action logic on why people leave. Because when most of the team leaders talk to me, right, they normally say, oh, yeah, this guy learned from me for a while, learned how to transact already, then ciao. I didn't get to make much money off him as well. Okay, most of my team leaders normally answer me with this same thing. Okay, after they tried leading 2 or 3 people, they will give up. Okay, but I just want to share, right, especially in real estate agency practice, right, it's 1 out of 10. Okay, it's 1 out of 10. You train 10 people, you will get one what I call capper lah. One person that will be able to at least hit the performance that you expect. Okay, and the other 9, most likely of the time, they will either leave for another opportunity, they might not appreciate your leadership, or they will find other things to do lah. Okay, so just letting you all know, of course, leading a team in real estate practice is not so easy. The first main reason why is because all your negotiators are not salary based, and they are also not time based. Okay, so there's no working hours, and likely most of the time there is no management structure, means there is nothing to check and balance performance. Okay, most of the time negotiators, the leaders, when they try to lead, they don't implement too much structure. And when structure is not implemented, of course, the fundamentals of a team will fall, okay, because there's no structure to hold it up. There's no accountability as well. Okay, so today, I'm just going to share with you a few different types of leadership, okay. So there is 7 different types of leadership that we'll run you through today. And when I talk about this leadership type, right, is how they take action. Okay, is nothing to do with the type of person they are. It's just how this person takes action based on their character. Okay, so I just run you through a little bit. So over the past 25 years, these researchers have administered the sentence completion survey to thousands of managers and professionals, most between the age of 25 and 55. Okay, and hundreds of American and European companies. So this is where the Harvard Business Review was done, okay? And what they found out is that different level of corporate and individual, their performance all varies based on their action logic. Okay, so more notably, they found that there are 3 types of leaders associated with below average corporate performance. Okay, and these 3 types of leaders accounts for 55% of the total volume of leaders. Okay, so these 3 types are the first 3 types, as you can read on your screen: the opportunists, the diplomat, and the experts. Okay, these are the 3 types of leaders that put in slightly below par performance, means slightly below average lah. Okay, and they account for more than half of the population of the leaders. Then there are the other 4 lah, which is the achiever, the individualist, the strategist, and the alchemist lah. Okay, so most of the time you see like our big bosses here, we have Aldrin is here, Dato Adrian is here, Firdaus Musa is here. They will be in the category of probably the strategists lah. Okay, where they see the bigger picture, they can run it through. So later we will run through those few. Let's move with the first 3 first. Okay, so the opportunistic type. Okay, just based on what you read here, these 5 characters, based on what you can read on your screen, may I ask you if you have known anyone of this character trait? Okay, this accounts for 5% based on the study. Does any one of you have met any opportunistic leaders? Please type in a number 1. No right or wrong lah. It's just based on your feeling. Don't be shy. I just want to keep it interactive. Maria Tan, Audrey Tan also got. Oh, Adrian also got. Moa also got. Okay, thankfully, right, the opportunist only encompasses about 5% lah of the leaders in the sample. Okay, they are more characterized by mistrust, egocentrism, and manipulativeness lah. Okay, we call these leaders opportunists. Okay, a title that reflects their tendency to focus on personal wins and see the world they see the world and other people as opportunity for them lah. Okay, so opportunists tends to regard their bad behavior as legitimate in the cut and trust eye for an eye world lah. Okay, they reject feedback, they externalize blame, and they always retaliate. Okay, so a fun story that I will share with you, right? Does anybody know who Larry Ellison is? Very famous leader, Larry Ellison. Does anybody know who is that? Very, very big company. Can you please type down his company name if you know this person called Larry Ellison? Come on, guys. We have a lot of participants. Anyone who knows who Larry Ellison is? Nobody want to Google it also and type in. Yogesh. Yes, Terence, that's right. Larry Ellison is the CEO of Oracle. Okay, Oracle, very, very mega company lah. Okay, now more tech-based. Okay, so Larry Ellison was once an opportunist. Okay, so let me just share a story of what he said lah. Okay, last time he's always characterized by using intellectual intimidation and rhetorical bullying lah. Okay, he once told The Economist. The Economist is a journal lah. They have it on YouTube. They have magazines. It's quite a famous journal. Okay, he said, quote, "I excuse my behavior by telling myself I was just having an open and honest debate. The fact is, I just didn't know any better." Okay, so this is when he realized that previously he was very opportunistic towards all his staff lah. And of course, further down in time, he managed to change his opportunistic character lah. So what I want to share here, right, is that, see, even a person as big as Larry Ellison, previously when he started off as a leader, he was more opportunistic to exploit his staff, to exploit his members for his own personal gain. And after a while, he realized that that can't be done to grow big lah. Okay, so that is just a short story on an opportunist before we move on to a diplomat. Okay, now I move on to the diplomat. Anything that you can read here already, I won't be reading out for you lah. Okay, the diplomat. This is the dangerous part. The diplomat is where is makes the biggest portion of the leaders lah. Okay, so the diplomat makes sense of the world around him in a more bigger way than the opportunist does. Okay, but the action logic can also have extremely negative repercussions. Okay, if the leader is a senior manager, he will always loyally serve his group. Okay, take note, he always loyally serves his group, not the vision, not the mission of the company, because this guy have more of a diplomat character. Okay, meaning he always wants to keep everybody in his team happy, even if it means making the wrong decisions. Okay, because the diplomat, normally they will find it hard to make tougher decisions. For example, if a person is not performing, or maybe a person has done something against the law, they tend to avoid conflict to keep everyone happy. So normally in a lower managerial position, they perform very well because they keep everyone happy. But as they climb up the ranks and they have to make bigger decisions, like for example, sacking someone, cutting of budget. I think good leaders should have all these, but the percentages depends on the situation. Yes, correct. So this leadership study is only studied with 65,000 people lah. In Malaysia, it could be different. I'm just responding to Firdaus's message on the group chat, where he said, I think good leaders should have all these, but the percentages depends on the situation. So I highly agree with that as well, because normally people, they can evolve and behave differently based on different circumstances. Okay, so normally when somebody say this, right, they are at a higher level of leadership already, because they understand that certain times they have to be diplomat, certain times they can change to be a different type of leader. Okay, so we will move more into that. Now more on the diplomat. When I'm explaining, what I mentioned is lower tier of management probably good, but as they move up, they struggle to make harder decisions lah. Because the diplomat's normal action logic is this simple sentence: keep everyone happy. No matter what, just keep everyone happy, avoid conflict. So the diplomat normally struggle to move up the manager ranking lah. Okay, then we move on to the third. And remember what I mentioned, the number 1, number 2, number 3 that I mentioned, opportunist, diplomat, and now we are at the expert. These three, normally, if you put them in high leadership positions, they give below subpar performance. Okay, now we move to the expert. Note, the first note there is 38% of professionals. 38% of professionals, not leaders. Okay, so the expert, most of the time, they are very good at what they do. However, they are not much the type that leads out. They are very good at what they do. Okay, so let me just describe it a bit for you. Of course, you can read on the left-hand side. Okay, experts are great individual contributors because of their pursuit of continuous improvement, efficiency, and perfection. But as managers, they can be problematic because they are so completely sure they are right. When subordinate talk out also, and even when they talk with facts, the expert still thinks he's right. So most of the time, you tend to see this in a lot of professional practice, whereby they have more years of experience. Like for example, a 10-year-old lawyer, maybe telling a 1-year-old lawyer, "Aiya, this easy law, all wrong one lah. We must go back to the textbooks." Okay, or they can tell you, "Oh, I already know this since when? The wheel is already working. Why reinvent it?" Okay, so the experts always tends to come in professional practice like law, accounting, doctor, even valuators, building managers. Those are more expert types where it's more, their job scope is a little bit more technical, and they normally have a qualification to sign something lah. So most of the time when they have team members, especially that is more junior than them, very hard for them to take opinions. Okay, and most of the time, these experts as well, they come with slightly less emotional touch. Okay, so later we are moving on to the achiever. The difference between the expert and achiever is only so slight, because the difference is the expert has less empathy. Okay, a good story to share with you. So there is a company called Sun Microsystems, very big company. Have anybody heard of this company called Sun Microsystems? Please type in the number 5. Okay, I see some thumbs up there. Okay, great. Okay, so Sun Microsystems, previous CEO Scott McNealy, okay, he said, "I don't do feelings. I leave feelings to Barry Manilow." Who knows who is Barry Manilow? Okay, so this shows you he is an expert in what he does. But whenever people give feedback, or whenever people have something to share with him, for example, maybe they have a family passing, they need a short holiday to just regroup, re-understand themselves, and then come back to work. But then normally the experts, they don't understand this, because yes, Cynthia, singer, correct. So they are more into themselves and their expertise of work. Okay. So as he mentioned just now, he don't do feelings. Feelings, leave it to other people. Okay, so most of the time, of course, we understand as leaders, it's not just about performance because we are all humans. Okay, we have human errors. Okay, and without empathy, I think leading is pretty difficult, especially in real estate. We are in the business of people. Okay, we are not in the business of selling houses. Yes, that's our product. But if you are running a real estate agency or you are running a real estate team, you are normally in the business of people. And if you don't have empathy, means you can't understand their personal side well. No matter how much you understand their professional performance, that personal side makes a big difference to this professional performance. If personally they don't like you or personally they don't think you can empathize with them or understand their situation, it's pretty hard to motivate also. It's pretty hard to motivate and it's pretty hard to change someone's performance as well. Okay, so that is what the expert struggle with. Okay, so I've done the opportunist, the diplomat, and the expert. And again, I repeat myself, most of the times, these three people, they produce subpar performance. Okay, now let's move towards the performers themselves. Okay, we start with the achiever. Okay, Show said very old singer. Yeah, very old singer. Maybe after this, you can listen to some of Barry Manilow. All right, so achiever, they account for 30% of the managers, not 30% of leaders, 30% of the managers. Okay, let me just run you through a quick read of the achievers. Achievers have a more complex and integrated understanding of the world than normal managers who displays the three previous action logic. Okay, they are more open to feedback and realize that many of the ambiguities and conflicts of everyday life are due to the difference in interpretation and ways of relating. So you can see they have a little bit better EQ lah. EQ is the correct technical word for it. Okay, so the achievers know that creativity, transforming, and resolving clashes are paramount. Okay, achievers can also reliably lead a team to implement new strategies over a 1 to 3 years period, balancing immediate and long-term objectives. Okay, so they share. The Harvard Business Review used a more American study to review this. Let's move it more towards sports because I see a lot of guys here. Let's move to the biggest sports. Remember, they say 1 to 3 years achievement. So there's a very popular achiever in the football world as well. Okay, whereby he changes clubs every 3 years, and he is known to win titles. But on his third year, somehow he always don't win, and he will swap. He will swap to another big club. Can anybody name that person? The world of football, very famous manager that describes this achiever lah. Farid Rosli, correct. Terence Yeo, correct. It is Jose Mourinho. Okay. So Jose Mourinho, popularly at Chelsea, was 3 years. At Inter Milan, 3 years. At Madrid, 3 years. At Man United, 3 years. And then, of course, he also had his second stint at Chelsea lah. And then now he is at he was at Tottenham Hotspur, and then I think now he's clubless. Or does he already have a club? Oh, got a club, Roma, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Farid, thank you. Now Roma. Yep. So Jose Mourinho is one of the characters that of course shows the achiever. And when you see he empathized a little bit more, when he left Inter Milan, you can see all his team members, or when he left Chelsea, all of them were crying for him. And then he also were crying for them. Okay, so he shows a very strong strength of leading, achieving his titles in a 1 to 3 year period. Okay, so he is a prime example of what an achiever is. He is slightly different for an expert because he's very good. Expert and achievers, again, I mentioned, they are very, very good at what they do. The only difference is that EQ portion lah. Okay, so Jose Mourinho shows he can achieve and he can also empathize lah. Okay, then let's move to the fifth character. Okay, the fifth character contributes to 10% of the leaders lah. Okay, so the individualist action logic recognizes that neither it nor any of other action logics are natural. Okay, they all of them believe that everything in the professional way can be designed and can be suited towards one's self. So they believe in a little bit of a segregation between professional and personal life lah. Okay, and most of the time, these people, they set their own rules, they construct their own world as well. Okay, they set their own rule, they construct their own worlds as well. We normally see this in the real estate practice, right? With all the agents that can do maybe 400,000 and above lah. Okay, whenever you tell them use co-broke letter, they say, yeah, no need co-broke letter lah. I'm very close to the other agent. Or you tell them, okay, please sign exclusive letter with the owner. They say, no need lah. I know the owner very well. Or you tell them, hey, get 3% or what, please get it signed off. They will say no need. They operate based on their own rules, their own regulations. Okay, the individualists normally as a leader, they lead out by their own rules. So they don't follow the company's practice, they follow their own practice. However, what makes them so successful is they are basically of a dominant character. They can take out a lead, they can take out their own initiative, and most of the time they set the rules to benefit their own team's performance. So individualists, most of the time, the problem is they don't follow the rules. But their strength is they can always create, they can always problem solve, and they can always contribute something very unique. Because people that don't follow rules, bear in mind, most of their time, their problem solving skills is fantastic. Because they don't follow the book, they write the book. Okay, so the individualists are this type of people lah. Okay, I ask most of the leaders here, are anybody under you or you yourselves, do you feel like you are individualists? Because I feel like negotiator practice, there are many individualists. Okay, anyone individualist? Maybe you can you can raise up your hands. Actually, it's a very good trait because individualists are the performers. They are the ones that the company, regardless whether if as long as they follow the rule to a decent extent, every company wants them. Okay, so guys, anyone, do you think you are this character? Individualist? Mr. Madi, yes. Okay, Mr. Madi, yeah, actually from working with you, I realized, yes, very good closer, very good problem solver, very good to group people up together as well. And I believe you understand how to deliver results lah, without completely following A to Z. Nothing wrong with that. Thanks for sharing, Mr. Madi. Very nice of you. Okay, normally most of the time people nak angkat tangan, nak turun tangan pun segan-segan sikit. Okay, so we move to the strategies. Okay, the strategies only accounts for 4% of the 60,000+ leaders that they study. Okay, the strategies, okay, they are normally fascinated with 3 distinct levels of social interplay: personal, organizational, and international developments. So these are very big picture people lah, okay? So I share with you a quick story. I will actually be reading it out lah, because this story a bit panjang, so I have to actually read it out. I can't hafal it. Okay, so John Bavaria, okay? Joanne, sorry, not John. Joanne Bavaria, okay? A CEO who back in 1985 measured as a strategist. Bavaria created one of the first socially responsible investment fund, a new subdivision of the investment industry, which by the end of 2001 managed more than 3 trillion in funds. In 1982, Bavaria founded Trillion Asset Management, a worker-owned company, which she still heads. She also co-wrote Environmental Principles, which dozens of major companies have signed. Okay, so here we see the strategist action at Logic. Bavaria saw a unique moment in which to make ethical investing a viable business, then established Trillion to execute her plans. Strategists typically have socially conscious business ideas that are carried out in a highly collaborative manner. Okay, they seek to weave together idealist visions with pragmatic and timely initiatives. Okay, Bavaria worked beyond the boundaries of her own organization to influence the socially responsible investment industry as a whole, and later made the development of social and environmental accountability standards. Okay, that in the end of the day, United Nations followed. Many achievers will use their influence to successfully promote their own companies. The strategist, however, works to create ethical principles and practices beyond the interests of herself and her organization. Okay, so you can see the difference here between the achiever and the strategist. The strategist is basically more bigger picture. Okay, and they really behave in the best possible outcome for the company. Okay, and also what social impact does this company make towards the community? So it's a very big picture thing. Let me just share with you a more local hero lah, maybe to compare a little bit of what a strategy is. So anybody know who is Jeffrey Chia? Jeffrey Chia, guys. Anybody know who is Jeffrey Chia? Please type in the number 4. Sunway boss. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Hey, 4, 4, too many also not good. Okay, so Jeffrey Chia. Okay, I take it as a strategist lah. Why? Because you can see that he basically builds a community. And really, from the 2005 onwards, I think just after he came close to his bankruptcy, after that, when he moved forward, you can see he implemented a lot of social responsibility in the way he runs his businesses. So in Sunway, of course, you can see there's an education hub, there's a hospital, and you can see in the community how much they have give back lah. Okay, very big into giving back to the environment, to the people, and also very big on giving back in education lah. So one of our more local heroes, you can see Jeffrey Chia when he does business. It's not only about the business, it's about the business, it's about the people, it's about the community, and last but not least, it's about international understanding of what business should be about. Okay, so I will share with you a quote that I like from Elon Musk in one of his interviews with China Press, I believe. Okay, so Elon Musk once famously said, and bear in mind, guys, negotiators, we are all our own business here. So Elon Musk once famously said, if a business is not focusing on providing an excellent service or is not focused on innovating a great product, and they are not moving around that loop when they are operating that business, a business has no place in this world. Okay, so if you're not providing an excellent service or you are not providing an excellent product, basically what he's saying is don't do business at all. Okay, so for us, we are in the negotiators practice. Our service to people is basically finding them a good investment or finding them a good lifelong home lah. Most people buy homes once or twice in their life only lah. So if we are not focused on providing a good service, why are we even in business lah? So I think that's a very good quote that I would like to share out of topic lah, because I mostly tell all my negotiators this as well. We are in a service-based industry. If we don't focus on our service, we will be eliminated eventually. Okay. Bear in mind there's a lot of technology these days already. Okay, I go out of topic again. So again, if we don't provide good service and we don't keep thinking of providing good service, right, we are easily replaceable because people won't resubscribe. So I just share with you, has anybody heard of what's this yellow company called? The one doing rental. Can somebody help me out with this? What's the yellow company doing rental online? Speed Home. Speed Home, yes, Speed Home, Speed Home. Thank you, CS. Okay, so Speed Home has run about 13 million of rental per annum. Speed Home is starting to provide a slightly better service than real estate negotiators. So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think of upping your service, upskilling yourself, and changing what people feel about your service, you will be replaced very, very soon. Okay. Last time, bank teller also used to be a job. Now there's no such thing as bank teller anymore. Okay. So again, now I go back into the topic and I will share our last type of leadership, which is very, very rare. I myself has not come over any one of this alchemist type of leadership lah. Okay. So alchemist, of course, as you can see the picture, back in the dulu punya zaman, alchemists are basically what they call magicians that can create gold lah. Okay, so they can reinvent something so valuable. Okay, that's where the term alchemist came from lah. Okay, they only account for 1% of the leaders. Okay, so let me just give you a brief description. The leadership action for which the alchemist is, they will have data and experience. Okay, so the studies show that few leaders have identified as alchemists. Okay, because alchemist is just slightly different from a strategist. A strategist is a very big picture person already that focuses on community, focuses on the organization, focuses on impact. Okay, what sets alchemists apart from strategists is their ability to renew or reinvent themselves or their organization in a historically significant way. Okay, that's why I mentioned I myself have not met an alchemist type so far lah in my 30+ years of life. Okay, so I will just share with you a story of an alchemist. Later on, I'll actually share all this article with you. It's about 35 pages. It's quite an interesting read. But the story of an alchemist that I will share with you is basically Nelson Mandela. Okay, that's how big an alchemist is. That's why they only account to 1%. Okay, so Nelson Mandela in 1995, when he attended the Rugby World Cup, guys, can anybody remember what did he do in this Rugby World Cup? Can anybody maybe type in his action logic? What did he do at that time? Okay, CTB Moa say Lee Kuan Yew. Yes, of course, Lee Kuan Yew is an alchemist. Actually, one of my favorites is Lee Kuan Yew. So, guys, anyone? Nelson Mandela, what did he do? Okay, so basically, I'll just share. Ada movie about Nelson Mandela di Netflix. Ya, betul. Ada movie Nelson Mandela di Netflix. It's quite a good one. Okay, so Mandela symbolized the unity of a new South Africa when he attended the Rugby World Cup game in which the Springboks, the South African national team, were playing. Rugby has been the game for the whites. Okay, it was at one point still coming off from the white supremacy. Okay, but Mandela attended the game. he walked onto the pitch wearing the Springboks jersey, so hated by the black South Africans. At the same time, giving the clenched fist salute. You all know, right? This clenched fist salute, you see it in the Olympic Games. Right? It's to symbolize black pride. Okay? And by doing this, almost impossibly, he united South Africa. Okay? And you can see after he did that, more black South Africans started playing the game. More blacks and whites started to play more sports together in South Africa. Basically, by that symbolic move that he did, which was wearing the jersey of what the whites normally wear and going to the sports that is normally only exclusive to the whites, he basically break down all these racial barriers and he encouraged integration of sports between the blacks and whites in South Africa. Okay, so somebody said only Mandela could wear an enemy jersey. Only Mandela would go down there and be associated with the Springboks. All the years in the underground, in the trenches, denial, self-denial, away from home, prison, it was worth it. That's all that the South Africans wanted to see. And with that remarkable thing that he did, he united a whole nation. So it's something that is historically significant because after people from other nations see that integration in South Africa, it definitely helped racism throughout the entire world. Not to say that racism is no longer there. Of course, it's still there. But what he did helped. Okay, and what he did, only the alchemist type of leader would be daring enough, would be dynamic enough, have went through enough to understand that that was necessary action, and he actually did it. Okay. So guys, since I've not met anyone before of an alchemist character, I'm just wondering whether anyone want to unmute their mic and share a story of another alchemist. So somebody put there Lee Kuan Yew. Maybe you all want to share the story of Lee Kuan Yew? CBD Mua, would you like to share the story of Lee Kuan Yew? I do agree. That's the alchemist type as well. Vladimir Putin, also alchemist type, completely changed Russia from a poor country, now no longer poor. Singapore also, third world, now way ahead of the whole world. Anybody want to come on, Mike? Teman me a bit, share. Would I be able to obtain slides before the fifth one? Yes, Joseph Chong, definitely I'll share my slides with you. Ding Xiaoping, yep, definitely. Would you like to share, Adeline? I see a lot of sharing here. You got all the right type of people. Okay lah, I think a lot of people camera or maybe mic shy. So I will go ahead first. Okay, so these are 7 types of different action logics, okay? Whether you are starting off as an opportunist or a diplomat or an expert, these 3, again, I mentioned are more subpar. You can definitely change yourself to be more of an individualist or to be more of a strategist. Okay, alchemist, I don't know lah. I don't have the experience to talk about that. So I better not talk too much about changing into an alchemist as well lah. So even I myself, if I were to share with you all, I think my start off of leadership is very diplomatic as well. Okay, when I start off as a team leader, I think I was 22 years old maybe. So that time, I had more seniors under me, and I was so scared to hurt anyone's feelings. Okay, of course, I was younger. I was scared to hurt anybody's feelings because most people were more experienced than me. I was suddenly asked to be a team leader just based on my sales performance. Okay, and when I was thrown into that leadership position, my idea of leadership is keep people happy so that they are motivated. But I was not daring enough to tell them that certain things that they are doing is not the right strategy lah. Like they can farm a different way, they can advertise a different way, they can market a different way. And in fact, I also see a lot of my agents at that time. I was thinking in my head, hey, why these people still wasting money putting their advertisements on newspaper when newspaper got less readers than online? And then at that time, newspaper was still quite costly. So, but I struggle to tell my team members that. I struggle because I scared if I tell them, I will hurt their feelings. And then other than that, when I see their team leaders taking advantage of their team members, for example, getting their team members to contact the owner, set up everything, and then only give them 10% referral. But in actual situation, it's more or less a co-broke. But then this leader only give this person referral 10%. So I also struggle to tell them that that's wrong because I want to keep the person happy. I want to keep the person with me. So I think a start off, most people will start off as opportunist, diplomat, or expert, where they maybe think they know everything also. So further in time, of course, I meet more mentors, even people like Firdaus over here, Aldrin. I learned quite a bit from him. And popularly, I think last time, if you all recognize this agent in Klang Valley, her name is Rose Wong. She's my first mentor that taught me negotiating. And finally, she sold her agency to me as well. So what I'm trying to share out here is, if I did not realize my action logic was wrong and take more action into improving myself and understanding my general strategy of business, my general strategy of people, and my general strategy of self-improvement, I would have never grown. Okay, and up until today, I believe I'm still wondering which type of leader I am. That's why I have to ask a lot of my team members for feedback, okay, after a while. And normally as a leader, right, when you ask your team member for feedback, it's very hard to have an honest conversation because most of the times they will filter a bit and they won't tell you what's wrong. But as you continuously go to your team member, maybe make them feel more comfortable and more personal with you, you will actually get quite good feedback and reviews about your leadership, okay? For example, I can be very transparent here. For example, Firdaus also have tell me, hey, I got problem, Kai, you got problem with your timing. Or I got other people tell me, hey, you sometimes when too much things to handle, you got problem with your temper. Okay, so then I must reflect back to myself when I go home, and I must ask myself, what can I do every week that I will slowly improve in this? Okay, because improvement in leadership really is not a daily thing. It's something that you have to practice. Let's say you want to improve in your anger management, for example. You have to find out, in general, what are the same causes that make you angry at work? How do you respond to it? And in the future, if this happens, how can you respond to it better? Then maybe you can set a challenge to yourself. Like for example, last time I used to lose my head all the time when people don't perform. Okay, but that couldn't get people to perform better. Then I try a different action logic. Okay, instead of losing myself, I walk out for 2 minutes. I talk to myself before I come back to the room, and I see whether that action logic gives me a better understanding of why people don't perform. And true enough, it does give me a better understanding because I don't react first. Okay, I try to go back, strategize first, then come back in the room. Okay, so it's not only anger management, it's not only timing. Other people might have a problem with maybe public speaking. So next time, what can you do before public speaking? Do you write a script down in your phone? Or do you speak with a partner, maybe? So every time you speak with a partner. Or do you do more slides that have more words so that you don't have to hafal and read so much? So Leadership as well really comes from in within, which moves to my next slide. I'm just sharing something I learned a little bit in psychology class. This is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. And at the very start of my training, when I mentioned leadership starts from within, it starts from yourself. If you can't lead your own self, it is very, very hard to lead people. And if you don't understand yourself, it's very, very, very hard to understand people. Okay, because you don't even know yourself and you don't even know why you react or why you feel certain ways towards certain people, then most of the time you will end up being a very judgmental person. Okay, self-actualization is the most important aspect to kick away judgment. Okay, because as a leader, try your best not to judge. Try to change the word judge to understanding someone. Okay, there's no point in judging. You have to understand why certain things are certain ways. Okay, being judgmental helps nobody lah. Okay, you can be judgmental in business decisions based on numbers. That one fine. That one is purely logical. You have to make judgment. Okay, but when it comes to people and leadership, it's about understanding lah. Okay, good quote there. Judge not and ye be not judged. That's beautiful lah. A little bit Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, so the Maslow hierarchy of needs basically mentioned that at the very start, we need to assure our psychological and safety needs. Okay, so before you even think about leading a team, make sure your psychological, your safety needs is already there. Okay, and also love and belonging and esteem. So these are things that people work on on a terms of growing lah. Okay, once they have their psychological needs, they will look at safety needs. After safety needs, love and belonging. Once they have their love of belonging, their self-esteem will be a little bit better. Once their self-esteem is a little bit better, they will start to realize more things about themselves and push themselves to be the best version of themselves. Okay, as when we are younger, we normally have our physiological needs, right? Given by our parents already lah. Air, water, food, shelter. Most of the times, most of us that are lucky enough lah. Safety normally is when we start working lah. We can at least pay our own rent, so on and so forth. Love and belonging is with relationship. So with all these three fundamentals there, normally esteem is built. I'm repeating myself. Esteem is built. And once the person have enough confidence, then only they will move towards self-actualizations, which I mentioned to most of our negotiators here. I always tell myself life is short. I somehow feel like I will pass away before I'm 50 years old. So I want to make it a point to live life in the best manner that I can and live life to the fullest that I can. So I need to make sure all these needs are settled so that I can actually realize who I actually am, what purpose do I serve towards this world, and what purpose do I serve towards this community. Okay, so I throw it back to you all. You all try, let's just take one quick minute if you don't mind. Let's just take one quick minute. I'll just hold a moment of silence. We take one quick minute to understand who we are, and between these 5 needs, what are we lacking with? Are we lacking with our physiological? Are we lacking with our safety? Are we lacking with our love and belonging? Are we lacking in esteem? So guys, take 1 minute and digest it, and I will ask you a quick question, okay? I'll hold a silence of a minute. Okay, and I am back. Okay, there's another sharing here. Esteem comes with baby steps of self-realization of purpose in life. Yes, I agree with that. It's always baby steps. You don't suddenly become such a self-realized person lah. It really is a daily challenge, and I do recommend you all look more into these psychological practices to have a more better mental capacity lah. Okay, guys. So I just want to ask, whatever that is lacking within this hierarchy, if we can share transparently, because I think I've shared transparently quite a lot of things. Hopefully, you all can share with me. Can you all type down? Can you all type down what you are lacking? Participants, if you don't mind, can you type down what you're lacking? Why everybody so shy, Come lah, type something. Okay, I type first. Mine is esteem. Lack esteem. I may seem very confident, but I still lack a lot of esteem. I don't think my confidence is at a very, very good level. Sometimes it's still fake it until you make it. Wah, Firdaus, love. Anak semua cantik-cantik. Still lack love Isteri kedua, isteri ketiga, isteri keempat mungkin. Reproduction, lack of self-esteem, esteem. Wow, thanks. See very good. Even Dato Adrian is sharing esteem. Okay, so sometimes even leaders still trying your best daily to improve. Self-improvement is really a daily activity lah. It needs to be constant, and you need to talk to yourself every day lah. Okay. So guys, thanks so much for at least sharing a little bit. At least I feel this chat is a bit more transparent. Everybody can share their weakness a little bit so that we can get comfortable, okay? Because when we don't share our weakness and find solutions for it, right, we tend to be comfortable with our weakness, and that weakness will define us as a person. And that's not good, because that is not who you truly are, okay? You only get to see who you truly are when you reach that plateau of self-actualization. Okay, so let's all make it a point to at least understand ourselves better today. Let's all make it a point to lead ourselves better today. And of course, if we have anybody under us, let's understand the responsibility of a leader. If it's not to make the community and the group better, guys, no point leading, man. Pass your people to other people that will make their lives better. Then you just focus on yourself. Okay? So not to be critical to anyone, that's just really how I feel, and I normally just talk very transparently. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually at the end of my session already. There's this business review part 2, which if you all like it, I will continue and share. It's about sharing Google's founders, HP founder, and also Bill Gates, and how they evolved in this leadership characteristic. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed my session today. I'm at the end of my session already. I really hope you all enjoy it today. I realize participants today, although 150, slightly less than our normal 200. So please try your best to invite your family and friends, those who are not agents as well, because you can see these sessions is shared with non-agents as well. It will actually help people. So for our topics, look through our topics, try not to miss out on them, and please share as much if you feel good. Share it with people and see whether the topics suit or not lah. Because all our sessions are open for public, but not all the topics will suit for everyone. So please read up the topics and do share our links. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all of you making out here. And I hope to see you again tomorrow at 3 p.m. So I will share my business review. You all have a good read on it. Again, I mentioned so that there's no copyright. It is not my research. It is the research done by Harvard. Okay, I'm just sharing facts and I did the slides. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Very honored. One last thing. You all need to scan. Sorry. Forgot one last sharing. Please do scan and review for us. Let me share this page. Okay, still got 100 plus people here. Okay, guys, please do me a favor. Do scan this and please give me some feedback so that we can continuously improve ourselves. Our next week topic will be out by tomorrow. All 7 days of the topic will be there for you to read and to share. Okay, I like thanking everyone one by one, so I'll do it now. Thanks, Kumaran. Thanks, Ina, Judy, Wijian, Nurshida. Thank you. Ridwan, thanks. Surprise you're here. Farid, thanks. Andrew, thank you very much. Julie, Jess, Adrian, Josephine, Polly, Lee Xiang, Caroline, Sulastri, Firdaus, Caroline, Marcus, Rajesh Garan, Firdaus, Mr. Pang. Thank you very much for everyone that have thanked me. Very humble that you made your time. Thank you. Yes, GS Chia, favorite. You are the most one that the one that always comment. Thanks. 谢谢你.